这是整个的一个，只是1/5的 plaza。现在我们会去到旁边的另外一个，在那边2个连着。你们要是来了，就看见非常大的2块。现在我们看见的是一块，整个这一圈巨大的泊车场，非常好。除了1间以外，其实是 fully occupied。This is a very popular kind of flex space, right? Because you have storage behind, like a warehouse behind.
Right.
They have office up front. Wow. This was for the bookstore?
Yes, so the bookstore is using this just as like miscellaneous storage.
So they never count for rent for this whole space?
Correct. They
so
were,
now we might lease them on market price, but Republic, someone need more TI to help them. But it's a pretty big space.
It's a huge space. This is actually one of our largest spaces. This one's around 5,600 square feet. So
5,600 square feet. And had never been used for rental.
I don't. If it has, it's been years. As you see, as you kind of go through, just watch your step right there. It's gonna, whoever comes in here next, unless they just want to use it as kind of warehouse storage, they're gonna have to put probably $100,000 in here to get all the ceiling tiles replaced. You can see a lot of the lighting's been stripped out.
Yeah, a lot of work.
So I don't foresee us actually leasing this space anytime very soon, unless somebody just wants it for storage. And we might consider leasing it maybe at $8 a foot for storage.
Good leasing point.
It's got great access.
Yeah, you have the loading.
And this, of course, is a nice private driveway that is secured by gates on both sides. So the tenants really appreciate that too, that if they had, you know, work trucks or similar things back here, that they'd be protected.
Right. The point is, this space has never been counted for any dollar amount, not even $1. So now this is extra on top of what we're really collecting, right? That's a good thing.
So we are marketing it, but it is a nice space. It's got private restrooms. It has multi-rooms over here. So you know,
multiple restroom? Oh, wow. This is the office space.
Yeah, this is kind of it's still pretty raw, but I think at one time this probably was a kitchen or a restaurant of some sort. The other thing is that this suite will probably need a whole new HVAC system, air conditioning system. So that would be a huge expense as well. So.
Yes. Someone needs to have paying upfront a lot to make it ready. They probably will negotiate with us to have a TI help, right?
Yeah. The next space we're going to look at is actually a tenant has leased it. It's one of our new leases here, and the tenant has put probably $125,000 into the space.
Wow!
All in them, we pushed it all in them, and you can see you'll see.
I think they will stay longer, right? If they spend $125, they can't leave in a year.
No. They're committed.
Nice.
Can you imagine this at least one Austin?
Yeah.
The other great thing about this space is you've got multiple access points to get to the courtyard areas. So, you know, that's a positive thing too.
So you said earlier, the market right now is very hot.
It's very strong.
Very
Absolutely.
strong. And usually how long take you to lease one good office, meaning not needing too much TI? So how long you think you need?
It's hard to know because these tenants are all a little bit different. I would think though, if when a suite comes available that's in market condition, good market condition, I think we can usually get them leased within 45 days.
Oh wow, that's pretty quick.
And we're trying not to go with working with brokers if possible, so we don't have to pay the broker fees as well. So we're.
I can see you guys really know where to save every penny, huh?
Yeah, I mean that stuff adds up.
So I remember there are some ends in November, some ends in December. How many of them have been released?
So actually all of the tenants that I've talked to that have expirations this year have indicated that they're going to renew their lease. Nobody's indicated to me that they're going to move out.
How many has been leased to new tenants?
Since we've had the property, just one space.
So most of them prefer to renew even with the higher rent. They still prefer to stay.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're not raising them drastically because we don't want to lose tenants, of course, but we're definitely raising rents.
How long take us to find this new tenant?
So funny enough, they were actually a tenant of mine at the building next door. And when they found out we were going to buy this building, they immediately put down a deposit.
Oh,
So yeah, even before we closed on the deal, we had leased the space. they've been spending the past probably 3 months building it out. They're working now, so we'll get to see them in progress.
All right. I just wonder, in case, I mean, the worst scenario, if the current tenant do not want to renew, how long it really take us to find a new one?
You know, I think for each space it's different. For instance, like if the YMCA had chosen not to renew, I think that would have been a kind of a tricky space to get released quickly because it's so big. It's almost 14,000 square feet.
Wow.
But
So the smaller one will be easy.
or we could also think about subdividing the space if we needed to. So this building and this asset is for a certain type of tenant. It's not for every tenant. But when you find a good tenant for the space here, I've found and I've seen that they're very loyal and they like to stay.
And this is a high traffic areas, right?
Super high traffic. It's hard to tell today, but Westpark Drive is usually packed full of cars. I estimate there's about 60 to 75,000 cars that pass every day. Great visibility. He's got these awesome monument signs too, so the tenants really appreciate that they can advertise themselves here.
Yeah. So for the past economy, I mean all your issue and other things, does that affect this area at all, you think?
You know, it may affect it slightly, but even with the downturn in the economy with oil and gas, we didn't really see it affect the buildings next door, and I don't really see it affecting these buildings either. These businesses aren't generally tied to any specific oil and gas companies, and so they thrive on different types of business. So no, I don't think it's affected it much. The other great thing too is Hurricane Harvey did not affect any of these areas. So none of this flooded during Harvey. Tenants really appreciate knowing that they're in a location that doesn't flood.
Right, so this never been flooded.
There were a lot of parts
It's right at highway, only 2 miles to Galleria, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that close, but over there, I think the office space at least probably 50% higher for the rent price.
For sure.
Only 2 miles difference.
Yes. And it's very, very congested over there. So people like that they can get in and out of these buildings fairly easily and not fight horrible traffic.
Right.
We also have plentiful parking. I think that's attractive to a lot of these tenants as well, knowing that their customer and the client base is large. When the YMCA is open, they just that tenant takes about half of the parking spaces in this lot. So they have a lot of traffic in and out of their building.
All right.
Signage out here as well, so we're doing all we can to attract people to call or go to our website.
How many ways you're using marketing, like sign, and where else you market it at?
Well, we have our great signage out front, of course, and then we use a wonderful MLS system called LoopNet. And so we have these properties on LoopNet, and that's open to brokers to view properties, but also for their just clients on their own.
Right.
This is actually a church that's they're currently meeting right now. We won't be able to go in the space, but
a lot of music. Hear the practice music.
Yeah. I actually met with this tenant on Friday, and they're already talking about wanting to renew their lease when their lease comes up for expiration. They're still a couple years out. So.
Still a couple years out.
But very happy here.
I think this place is very convenient because you ride to get onto Westpark and several highways. No traffic.
It's very convenient to highway access, even to get on 59 and go south. A lot of my tenants actually live down 59 south towards Sugarland, so they love the easy accessibility to the highway 59.
Yeah, I can see convenient, easy in and out, and also it's very convenient to downtown, everywhere. Is this the one?
Yeah, this is the church. So they are just about ready to move in. I believe they're going to be moving in around March 1st. When she finishes the windows, we'll try to go in and we can look around.
Okay.
But yeah, they've put a lot of money into this space. This space here.
You see the 125,000 they put in. So it was like the warehouse before.
This was a very raw space, similar to 470.
Okay.
Maybe what we'll do, we'll try to go through the back. I think they may be cleaning that window for a little while.
Okay.
I've got some investors in town that are partial owners in the building. Do you mind if I show them your space?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We know it's a construction zone. So.
Careful, so it's nothing in the way.
They do.
Oh, nice.
So they're building this out for this kitchen area.
The color is interesting.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, the finishing out. Oh, they made it for multiple They made it multiple office rooms. Goodness.
They put all new flooring.
Goodness. The pattern, I like the pattern. They made that more modern, here more classic. I did the classic. Ah, I can see here. See the tone, they made it warm here. They made it more modern, gray, that tone, cold.
Yeah.
It's more warm.
You know, all new lighting as well, LED lighting.
Yes. Very bright. Oh, that's lovely. Wow, look at
Huge
this.
section.
Oh, look at the church they made that.
Yeah, they built all this drop ceiling out, and you can see it almost reminds me of like Las Vegas, the way they did the
Yeah,
the
they made it
insets.
very fancy.
Hello, how are you? Yeah, looks nice.
Yes.
They built the stage area.
Yes, beautiful.
You don't even really feel like you're in a retail center. It feels
Yeah,
like
because it's a bigger contrast, right? We were in that empty space.
Mhm.
This was like that, and they are almost finishing up. We feel like you have to have a view how you want to divide this space to functional areas, functional space. I love it. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking they can, because we have a non-profit Chinese organization
okay.
in local market, and they constantly need more space to host their performance shows. Yeah.
Yes, and this is great too because, like you said, this can be multi-use. So they can use it for a church, but then they could also use it for like a banquet hall.
Yeah.
They can do theater productions.
Yeah.
And they, so before this was kind of like the unfinished black gray trussing, and they wanted it to feel real light and bright. So they came in and powder coated all the ceiling. Makes it just feel more open.
Oh, so they don't have to close it up, but they just spray. What are those?
That's insulation.
So they just sprayed it. They didn't do anything, cover it. They just sprayed it to make the color look more bright.
Yeah. They wanted it to feel real tall and open. If they put ceiling tiles in, it would have felt low.
Do they get our permission to do it, or they can do it?
Yes. No, they had to get our permission.
So basically, you're saying this either the location or the market, or from your experience, you've been managing almost every property around here, right? Because I remember the map. This one sits in center, so everything around it you manage.
Yes.
And Presidium acquired, and you're the manager for most of them.
Yes. I manage all of our Houston properties.
Awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're able to
He
convert.
manages anything.
Well, what's great too is that I'm able to convert a tenant. Like these tenants were in my office building. They'd outgrown their space. We said, oh, we have a great option for you and now own next door. And so they were able to easily move over here. And I anticipate we'll be able to get other tenants here that way as well.
Let's talk about the market. You said the market is really good, especially
Strong.
because very strong. We're not as familiar as you've been living here, sitting here, leasing all the buildings here. Compare the office high-rise building versus this is more like specs, which has a bigger space and a warehouse combined with office space. Usually, you said the office smaller, the rents lower, is easier. Those are easier to be leased, right? But even the space over here, we were like 99, right? So you think to get it back to 99, how long you think it would take, or how easily, or
I'm hoping within 6 months. That's my goal.
6 months?
Again, we're talking to some current tenants about expansion options. So I'd almost rather have our existing tenants be able to grow. And we would also save money on broker's fees because we can do all that in-house.
And earlier you said to seems like Presidium has the culture of saving a lot of pennies on like a
Try to.
agent fee, brokerage fee, and even you mentioned the TI. Because TI, you tend to push it to the tenant to pay, and for them to pay everything, because if they put up front, it would have they would have some scheme in this thing.
Yes, they have an incentive to stay. It's risky when we put up a lot of TI up front because they can just walk away from it. We don't know what the next tenant's going to want. So it can be totally different.
Most of the time, instead of half, you're having them to pay all.
Try to. Yeah. With this tenant, it worked. So let me show you this last space too. I think it'll be a good one to see.
So I think this one can stay really long. They spend $125,000, and also their church.
They actually asked if they could buy the space. And I said, no, I'm sorry. You can't buy the space. But they want to be here. I could see them being here 10 years or more.
Cool. Very cool.
Let's see if she'll let us out. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this last space that we're going to look at, it was a tenant that was here previously, and they ended up defaulting. And so we have all of their goods on lockdown. They're locked out currently, but they're gone. So probably in the next 60 days or so, we'll be liquidating all of their assets and applying it towards the balance that they have with us here. Mm-hmm. So when we go inside, it's going to feel very much like an occupied space.
Okay.
The good news is this is a pretty nice space. So once all the items are liquidated, I think we should be able to get used to it. We've been showing it too. Because there's so much merchandise in here, the tenant actually installed one of these in case someone was to break the door. But you can see with the ceiling tiles in place how much lower the ceiling feels compared to the church we just came from.
I like the church feeling better.
Me too.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Why would I need this?
Yeah. I mean, if you want a very maybe traditional office space, maybe some people would like the tiles, but this is a great space. I mean, it's honestly, it's ready to go for the next tenant.
So how many office space right now we're available for leasing?
Right now we have 2.
Oh, only 2?
470, the first one we went to, and this one here.
But that one actually never been leased for any dollar amount in the past. Mm-hmm. So when you say 80A, you're only talking about that one, this one?
Yes.
Okay, so 80A actually compares to what we had before was not 88, because before we didn't even count that one.
Correct.
If we do not count that one, we're still like at 95.
Right.
Because that one's pretty big.
Right.
Now we consider them part of the leasing. That's why it's 88.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Yeah. Yeah, this space is nice. I mean, it's got nice concrete floors that are finished out. Mm-hmm. So it'll be ready for the next tenant.
That's very good occupancy. There's basically only this one compared to what we had in the past, right?
Correct.
And this one's finished up. Anytime can be leased.
Mm-hmm. Let me show you the back part too, because they have a warehouse in the back as well. So there's restrooms in this suite as well.
This one lease it in any moment because everything's ready to go.
So they have a private pool in the back as well. Kind of a smaller warehouse space. This one's more showroom.
You don't know how badly Austin needs spec space like this.
Yeah.
A lot of or they need office and big warehouse.
Sure.
A lot of requests.
Wow.
But Austin is only like 1/5 of Houston.
Sure.
Yeah, it's expensive, really expensive.
Sure, especially for these large spaces.
Yeah, that's why when I came here first time, I love it so badly because the whole thing, a whole 2 big plaza together, we're only spending like $7 million, I think. Yeah. So we're currently for our financial status still positive, very positive. A lot of cash flow, right?
Yes.
Non-stop. Okay.
And delinquency is really low here at this property too. So I think I have one tenant that owes $500. That's it. So these tenants pay. They pay on time.
Great.
But
you managed well, baby.
Oh, thank you. It's I think it's nice just being
you
so close.
You discipline them.
Train them early. Teach them to pay.
Cool. Every time I come to Houston and this property, I love it. I like it. I want to save one for myself. Because you have plenty of room for storage, and then you can segment them out for different function areas like a team meeting or like theater, presentation room, storage space, and open space.
I do have one prospect for this space that's kind of been circling, but they are part gym, part yoga studio. And I thought this would be perfect for something like that.
Yes, because here could be studio, and this could be the gym when they walk in.
This is also a great end cap space. So you're right on the frontage of Westpark. Got great signage. So it's a prime space. It really is.
We're close to like a week or two, and even just 1 week or 2 weeks, we have a lot of investors interested. They're all getting together. We invested around over 2 million.
Wow, terrific.
We appreciate you spend the weekend. Usually we don't work in the weekend. I can see every time we come to you, you're so cooperative and so nice, and so
We're
really
happy
appreciate.
to tour anytime. So.